little introductory statement on my part. We are at the TCCI home office at 440 South Rosemary Avenue, number 10, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33401. I'm Carlton Cartwright, the Executive Director of the Children's Coalition Incorporated, and we are here today interviewing a gentleman by the name of Russel W. Johnson?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, who was in the United States Air Force. Mm-hmm. And Russel, what is your present address?
I'm at 20510B. I'm Marissa, Boca Raton, Florida, with a zip code of 33498.
Good. Okay, and what is your birthday?
March 4th, 1935.
Okay, Russell, not only were we both in the Air Force, but my birthday is next week like yours on the 5th.
Oh, is that right? Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
All righty then.
Isn't that something? The universe.
There you go.
Working it.
All right. Okay, that was news, so we shared that. Let's try to get back to work. We'll do the birthday thing a little later.
Okay.
Like around the 4th and the 5th. Anyway, right. I did say the Children's Coalition Incorporated, and we're ready to move on. What was your rank when you separated?
Airman first class.
Airman first class. Can I have... Got it. Oh. And where were you at the time that you entered the service?
I was in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay. All right. What were you doing at that time?
I was in high school. I was 17.
Okay.
And just turned 17 when I joined.
Why did you choose that branch?
Well, that was when I volunteered.
Okay, yeah. You weren't drafted.
I wasn't drafted. Yeah, and I was in school and I wasn't doing that well. Mm-hmm. And so I decided to drop out and join the service.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, where did you go to basic training?
Sampson Air Force Base, New York, upstate New York. Sampson.
Never even heard of that.
Yeah, no, it's closed now. It's closed right after I left.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What city was that near?
I think near Syracuse, somewhere up in that way.
All right.
Sampson.
Yeah, your zip code was 130 something. One of the jobs I had in New York was I worked for the United Parcel Service. I had to memorize all those charts.
Okay.
All right. So, Sampson, New York, huh?
Sampson Air Force Base.
High school, got you. All right, and you did basic training there?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How long was basic training?
You know, the 16-week thing.
4 months?
Yeah.
Wow, mine was 6 weeks.
Well, whatever it was.
But this isn't about me.
Okay. Well, whatever it was.
Okay.
Then.
Maybe it was different then. That was different.
Yeah, whatever. I
Time.
don't remember all those dates. I mean, that's 2,000 years ago.
Gotcha. Well, come on now. You hurt me too. Yeah.
But then they sent me, because of the battery of tests that I took, I scored highest in electronics.
Okay.
And so they chose me out of all the people who were at the time, after a series of tests.
Right.
They chose me to be control tower operator to go to that school.
Oh, you air traffic control?
Air traffic control.
Wow.
So they sent me.
That's what I qualified for.
Is that right?
But I didn't get the job because they didn't have any openings. This is too bizarre.
This is
All right. When I was in New York, that's what I qualified for. But again, this isn't about me. Yeah, so when I went in eventually, I went for admin like almost 5 years later.
I'll be doggone.
Maybe 7 years later, yeah.
I'll be doggone.
Anyway, okay.
So I went to Biloxi Air Force Base for
Keesler.
Keesler.
That's where I went.
You did?
For administration.
I'll be doggone.
All right. So if you went from Sampson for basic to Keesler for tech school.
Right.
You remember how long the tech school was?
About 3 months.
Okay. All right.
3 months. So 3 or 4 months.
So what were your instructors like in basic and tech school?
Well, there were only, out of the basic, there weren't too many blacks then in the Air Force back in that, in that 52.
Right. I heard.
Yeah. And then when they sent to us the basic for training for a control tower, out of the whole base, in the school there were about 3 of us.
Right.
So that we had to dig in and pass all the tests and qualify. So I did that.
Okay.
This
is just killing me.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, yeah. Anyway, the parallel. So, staying on track.
The parallel is too heavy.
Staying on that. I've been through this before. Anyway, okay, so tech school was 16 weeks.
Right.
At Keesler. And so did you get along with, how was the food?
Good. Who cares about the? I mean, I didn't care about the. I just something to eat.
Okay, well,
good.
I've heard a lot of complaints from other branches.
Well, when you're hungry, I don't complain.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So where did you go after Keesler?
They sent me to
First duty station?
Yeah, Phoenix Air Force Base.
In Arizona?
Arizona, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And they had that was a training facility for the pilots. So we had 30,000 landings and takeoffs a day.
Wow.
Yeah, we were busy. You had to know your stuff.
All kinds of planes?
All kinds.
Everything you could think of? Hercules?
Mainly fighter
jets,
planes.
fighter.
F-86s and all that. Yeah.
So F what?
F-86.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. They reduced that number down to like the 16s, 18s, 20s.
And then they had the T-33s. Yeah. So we controlled the pilot training there for landings and takeoffs.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Busy. And there I became a supervisor.
Huh.
And then they moved me to Japan.
Okay. They moved you to Japan.
Japan.
Where in Japan?
Northern Hokkaido, 2 years. Yeah.
And what was that experience like?
It was good. You know, a lot of snow, but the Japanese people were good people. And I had an occasion to train a lot of the Japanese people for control tower operations. Yeah.
Okay, but that was how long were you stationed there?
2 years.
That was all?
That was all.
I would have stayed forever, but hey.
Well, I wanted to rush back home because I had a girl waiting.
Oh.
Yeah, one of those things, you know. Yeah, that's it. She was a great lady.
I hear you.
She was a great lady.
No, I got you. Where did you travel while you were there for the 2-year period? What was your job there? You said you trained.
I was control tower.
Okay. All right. You were training the Japanese, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
The civilians?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay, so tell me about Japan. What was that all about?
It was nice. I mean, it's different culture, different people. I loved them. I mean, I like the people. They're very courteous and entrepreneurial, if you will. So, yeah, good people. Yeah.
How was the food?
Excellent. If it's Japanese food, how can you say anything bad about Japanese food?
Right?
Yeah,
No, this is true. So did you when you were for over the 2-year period? How did you stay in touch with your family?
I wrote every day.
You wrote every day?
Just about to my girlfriend. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What about and
mom
right.
every once in a while.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So where did you travel while you were over in the Pacific Theater? Did you travel anywhere, or did you just?
No, just kind of around the base and the small towns. You know.
What did you do for entertainment?
Visit a nightclub or two.
Okay. All right. Anyway, moving right along. When you went on leave, did you go on leave while you were over there?
No.
Did you come home at all?
No.
Over the 2 year, you just did the straight 2 years.
Straight 2 years.
Okay. Did you travel in any other countries?
No, straight 2 years.
Just okay. So where did you go when that 2 years was up?
Back to Andrews Air Force Base.
In Washington D.C.
Yeah.
You said back to.
Well,
you had been there previously?
No. Back to because I was from Baltimore, so they shipped me back to that area.
So that's right, like being home again.
Yeah, being home again.
Gotcha.
Right.
So what was your job there?
Same thing. Control tower operation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take off aircraft.
Wow, but now you're in the big city.
Yeah, I was.
Oh.
But remember I said I was at a base that they had 30,000 landings.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to say, responsibility, same deal.
Same deal.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You were ready for this by now. This is like
absolutely
business as usual.
Business as usual.
Cool.
Right.
All right. So how was that? How long were you stationed there?
Until I messed it out.
So 6 years.
No, I was there 4 years.
4 years.
And then I went into reserve for the next 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they kept me until 60.
We'll get to that.
Right.
We'll get to that. Okay.
They wouldn't cut you loose.
So that 4 years at Andrews, what was that all about?
I wasn't there 4 years.
How long were you there?
I don't know, maybe 6 months or so.
Oh.
Because it was mustering out time. See, I had finished
you
basic training.
Yeah.
Keesler Air Force Base.
Right.
Mississippi. Phoenix Air Force Base.
How long were you there?
About a year.
Okay.
and then 2 years in Japan. Back here to muster out and go home.
Back where?
Andrews Air Force Base.
And so you were only there for 6 months?
6 months, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how was that?
It was good. It was,
okay. How did you get along with your peers, and were you an officer?
No.
Okay. I know you told me your final airman first class when you separated?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so you were enlisted. You were at NCOIC. No. Right. Okay, so anyway, how did you get along with your peers, and what did you think of your fellow peers and officers?
Good.
Okay, you got along?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, got along with everybody. Did you see any combat at all?
No.
So you were never prisoner of war or anything like that?
No.
Did you ever see out of your unit anybody that had deployed and come back? You see a lot of casualties?
No.
At all?
No.
Okay, cool. Tell me about a couple of your most memorable experiences.
Well, on the job or just being in the service?
I want to know about job related.
Job related. Well, it was interesting.
Or being in the service, either way. Doesn't matter.
The fortunate thing about what I was doing, I was in a group of people who were fairly educated.
Okay.
Because that's the way the tests would churn them out.
Okay.
So the people who went to ground control operations for GCA or airway operations specialists, they were pretty much educated. They had pretty good high IQs, or they wouldn't have been there.
Mm-hmm.
So one guy who looked like me, we were in the barracks together, and he had gone to New York University
right
before he got there. And the thing that impressed me about him, having gone to college, and I used to read a lot of pulp fiction, Mark Yerby and
Mark what?
Yerby.
That was the author?
Author, yeah.
Gotcha.
Frank Yerby.
Uh-huh.
He wrote the Foxes of Harold and Vixen and all that. But anyway, so I used to read a lot of those books, and he says, Russell, you got to stop reading that stuff. You got to do psychology, philosophy. You got to read about civics, the world. You got to upgrade your reading, and then you got to go to school and finish your GED.
Okay.
So that's what I did.
Oh.
Listening to him.
All right.
So by the time I graduated, got out of service, I had my GED not only from the service, but from the state of Maryland. So with the GI Bill, I went to college after that.
Okay, right. That's what I was going to ask you about.
Yeah.
Did you use your GI Bill?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. All the way through the master's program.
Oh, really? So you
BA, master's, they paid for everything.
What did you get a degree in?
Radio, television, and film.
Oh, wow.
Communications, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be the next thing I'm going to ask you about.
Right.
But first, you said you did your reserve duty?
4 years.
Where? Same place?
Same Baltimore, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you say in Baltimore, but was it at Andrews?
Right.
Andrews is in what state, though?
Andrews Air Force Base in Washington, D.C.
Right. But it's still like, how long, what was the distance? Hour?
Or less.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I've taken kids up there, and we ran up and down from Quantico to D.C.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly. I know it's, I grew up in New York. I know.
Oh, I see.
But it's been a while.
Right.
Okay. So anyway, all right. So for the reserve, same job.
Yeah, well, I didn't do much in reserve, but they just kept me on rolls until 1960.
Of course.
Before they let me go.
And how was that experience?
It was good.
Where did you go for your 2 weeks every year? Did you do 2 weeks then? Were they doing that?
No.
Because when I was in the reserve, we went up to Michigan from Homestead. We flew up to Michigan.
Okay.
We deployed somewhere.
Right.
But you didn't do that over the 4 year period?
No.
Okay.
This kept me on roll.
And I just take it for granted. I'll ask anyway. It was a good experience with the officers and your peers, and
I didn't have any problem at all.
But you didn't make any additional rank after that, even at the end of that.
Well, they said that when I was getting ready to muster out, they said they would make me staff sergeant if I re-up. And my wife said, the girlfriend says, "No, let that go. Come on out of here."
That was been quite a jump, huh? From airman first class to staff sergeant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Then the tech and then master.
No buck. No, just airman first is, what is that, 1 stripe or 2?
3.
That was 3 then.
Yeah.
Oh, it all changed.
Right.
It all changed. Okay.
Yeah, 3 stripes. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so you were a prisoner only to the girlfriend. No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah.
All right.
She says, no, you can't go away anymore.
Okay. Did you get any awards, medals, citations?
I got 4 or 5 awards, it's on my DD-214.
Just regular stuff?
Yeah, regular stuff.
Gotcha, okay.
A 4 different.
All right. Did you sustain any
No.
job-related injuries at all?
No.
Okay, cool. All right. Did you throughout your military career, did you have all the supplies that you needed?
Yeah.
Had everything you needed?
Right.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Was there? Well, especially in that job, air traffic control.
You work 3 days a week.
Was it stressful though?
Of course, you can't work any more than 3 days a week.
Tell me about the stress.
Well,
Why was it? Tell me what created the stress. I know, but I'd like to hear it from you.
Well, I didn't feel stressed, but I'm saying that it's a lot of, you got to keep aircraft separated. You got emergencies. You can't run them into each other. That kind of thing. They don't. And I've had some interesting experiences. Some of them did run into each other.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And one guy was killed, and a couple of people were killed. But they had a big investigation, and it wasn't my fault.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. Oh, did all of the bases that you and places that did we talk about all the places that you traveled? Have you shared all of those places with us?
Yeah.
Were there ever any entertainers that showed up in any of your bases to entertain the whole base?
I didn't notice any.
Okay. All right. Okay. Did you keep a diary?
No.
You keep a diary. Okay. All right. So before the reserve, the days were coming up on you separating from active duty. What was going on then in your life? What was that like?
Well, you get out of service and you say, now what do I do with my life?
Exactly.
Okay. And so I had the GI Bill.
Right.
At first, you got to get a job, right?
Yeah.
So I came out and I had a job within a month. So.
What were you doing?
Policeman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Baltimore?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was interesting. My wife says,
Have you seen The Wire?
Yeah, I've seen The Wire, yeah. Well, see, in the day I joined, when you're talking about 1952,
Yeah.
very few blacks, number one,
Right.
in the day, and no one could drive a car. You can't drive a police car.
Oh.
No.
So when you went that's in 52.
Yeah.
But when you got out in 60.
So, no, I got out in 56. 4 years.
Oh, that's right.
56.
Okay.
So 4 years later, the first thing I did, I applied to the police department. They accepted me.
Wow.
And so you had to go to school. Only 1 or 2 of us there, right? And when you do finish the school, you have to walk a beat. That's all you had. You couldn't do detective. You couldn't drive a car. You couldn't, none of that in the day. So I did that for a minute or 2.
Okay.
And then for a minute or 2, then my wife's girlfriend at the time said, why are you doing this? You can do other things. I said, fine. So I quit and started driving the bus, transit company.
So how long was your police officer career?
Oh, I don't know, maybe 6, 7 months, 8 months, whatever. She said that's enough of that.
Okay.
Fine.
Anybody ever shoot at you?
No.
Okay.
No. They did put me on undercover for a minute or 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So then you became a bus driver.
Yeah.
And
then 1,000 things after that. I've had more than 50 jobs.
Wow.
More than 50.
Careers.
Whatever. Bus driver, cab driver, parking a lot attendant, working at the steel mill and whatever, janitor, whatever, assembly line employee, whatever. It goes on and on and on.
Gotcha.
50 different things.
Gotcha. Hey, did you make any friends while you were in the service?
And not lasting, no. I didn't. I made friends, but I didn't keep up with them, no.
Yeah. Okay. No, you didn't maintain any of those relationships.
No.
Did you belong to any veterans organizations?
None at the time, no.
Okay.
Later on, I joined the VFW and other organizations later on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so You use your GI Bill to the fullest capacity?
Yeah.
You feel okay?
Yeah, for my BA, and it paid for my master's.
Okay. All right. And we talked about the veterans organizations already.
Right.
All right. So career-wise, I know that you said you had a lot of different careers.
1,000.
What was the one that benefited you the most?
Being a radio television personality.
Well, yeah, we haven't talked about that at all. So what was that all about? When did you get into that?
1961.
And how long did you stay in that?
I'm still in it. For the most part, that's my career.
Profession.
That's my profession. I got a PhD in media.
Really?
Yeah.
And where did you do this? How did you get into it?
Well, when I went to school, I went to a lot of colleges. Morgan State, Coppin State, Loyola, Towson State. Anyway, and then I got married, had some kids, driving a cab at night, whatever. It took me 15 years to get my first degree.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds
familiar. Keep going.
Yeah, 15 years.
Yeah.
But when I did graduate with my first degree, they usually have 120 hours you need. I had 350 hours going to all those colleges.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
okay.
When I finished that degree, I decided to go get my master's. So I got my master's, and then I started teaching at Howard University, and then I went and got the PhD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you finally got your. So where'd you get your? What school did you get your bachelor's from?
Antioch.
Where's that at?
Yellow Springs, Ohio.
Okay. So where did you get your master's degree at?
Antioch.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you got your PhD where?
Union Graduate School.
I thought you said Howard.
No. I taught at Howard.
Oh, you taught at Howard. So where the heck is Union Graduate?
It's out of Yellow Springs, Ohio.
Oh, everything in Ohio.
Yeah.
All right. So where did you teach university?
Howard University.
Oh, you did.
Howard.
And what did you teach there?
Radio, television, film.
Okay. How long did you do that?
I taught there from 74 until 80.
6 years.
Yeah, and then I went over to Morgan State and taught for 2 years. Morgan State University, Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah, taught there for 2 years.
Taught the same thing?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So what did we do after that?
After that.
Covert operation. No, I'm only kidding.
Majestic 12.
What? Uh-oh.
Oh, then Area 51.
There we go. All right.
No, after that, my wife passed in 1985.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, she was 48. But anyway, she passed, and right after she passed, I didn't do anything for, attempted to do a lot of network marketing programs.
Okay.
Trying to make it happen, which was, like most people, was difficult. I didn't make it really happen. I got some titles, but I didn't make any serious money. And then in 1992, when I got married the second time, I started selling cars.
Right.
I sold cars for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
And then for 2 years of selling cars, I got into network marketing again, prepaid legal, and discovered the formula. And within 12 months, I was making $10,000 a month because I didn't have the formula, the previous experience, Amway, Shakti, but I had the formula. And then I started making $10,000 more a month.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah. And then I came into another program in 1996, and within 3 years I was making $50,000 a month. So I learned how to do it.
Okay.
That's a long short. Because a lot of people join network marketing, home-based business, and then they really don't have a game plan. They don't have a program. But unless you get the game plan, then you're always going to fail. But I finally figured out the game plan. Somebody gave it to me, so here I am.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Overall, how do you feel your service and experiences affected your life?
Well, tremendously so, because had it not been for going into service and being tested and finding out you have an IQ of 120 or more or whatever, and going through the schools that they have provided for me and taking advantage of that, and then being around the kind of quality of people who had gone to college and had education and who encouraged me to go forward. Then I went on and did the BA and MA and a PhD in university and all this stuff, and become consultant to National Public Radio and all those kind of things. But because of the service background, I doubt if I would have gone down that highway.
Okay.
Yeah. It provided me, see, what it did, being in service and taking the battery of tests, even though I dropped out of the 9th grade.
Right.
That's how I wouldn't have had the confidence that I could go forward with any of that stuff had I not been in that environment and been coached and nurtured, so to speak.
Right.
And being tested by, the testing agencies that they have in place, knowing that, oh, wow, I do have the ability. I do have some smarts that I can use to make my life different. So without the service having done that for me, I don't know where else I could have found that path, so to speak. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did your military experience influence your thinking about war or about the military in general?
Well, I mean, I was a part of it. I knew that it was important to protect the country, and people have to, whether they're flying planes, whether they're on the front line, or whether they're in the back doing whatever they do to be an instrument of protecting the nation. It's important. It's important. My son went in. He's a police officer, 30 years or more.
Okay.
In Baltimore. He's married to an FBI agent,
Oh.
So they do very well. She's one of the directors. But anyway, he went in the service, and that disciplined him to understand that there is law and order, and that you have to go. So he went in and was trained. Now, obviously, done well as a police officer.
Right.
And his son went in the service.
Oh.
He lost a hip in Afghanistan, but I mean, he's okay now. He's 6'8". He's 6'8".
Wow.
Yeah, my son is 6'5", 280 pounds. First degree black belt karate. But anyway, all I'm saying, they learned the discipline. It was a discipline that I showed that passed on to him, that he passed on to his son.
Right.
It's important. We all went in service. We all served our country.
Right.
It's important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think if there was anything that I missed. Is there anything that you feel like you've not covered? Anything that you'd like to add to the interview?
No, I think we hit the highlights.
Why did you pick the Air Force anyway?
Well, I was in the Navy Reserve when I was 16.
What?
But
Whole nother life. How did that happen?
Well, I was in, I'm in school, and so you know how it is.
You say you were in the reserve or the ROTC?
The Navy Reserve.
What?
The Navy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I decided not to go forward full time with the Navy, so I took the battery of tests for the Air Force, and I'm glad I did, and so I was chosen to do something else.
How old were you when you joined the Navy Reserve?
16.
Okay, how old were you when you went in the Air Force?
17.
All right, so you were in the Navy Reserve for a year.
Something like that.
So how did you get into the Navy Reserve?
How did I get into service at 17?
Well, that too.
Okay, fine.
But let's go ahead.
Okay, easy. When they give you the paper, said, we like to have you serve your country, but you're too young. But if your parents will sign for you with permission, we will accept you.
Okay.
So I went to school and got the girl to sign.
The girl?
Yeah, some girl. Sign this paper for me.
That doesn't sound like parents to me.
Oh, well, there are exceptions.
Okay. But I'm trying to find out, I'm trying to extract at this point. This is starting to sound like a covert operation as far as I'm concerned.
I heard that. Now, all you do, if you need parental consent.
Yeah, I know, I got it. Okay, what are friends for?
What are friends
But anyway, Anyway, how did you sign up? I want to know about your experience in the Navy Reserve.
Well, it was just, you basic, you know how it is. You go.
Went to
each
class?
week. Yeah, you go to classes. They teach you whatever.
Did you go to a unit anywhere? Off from away from school?
No, Maryland is the cornerstone of
Naval.
The Naval Academy. Yeah. So it's
that. Did you go there?
No, well, I mean, I visited, but
Yeah.
no, I didn't have to go. I just, go to the training, go to the meetings, you know.
Okay.
Nothing,
All right.
Nothing elaborate.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that went on for a year, and then you switched out, and you went into the Air Force instead.
Dropped out in 9th grade and joined the service.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why didn't you go in the Navy instead of the Air Force? You couldn't get the signature, or what happened?
Well, no, I think when we went back to school, several of us said, "Hey, let's just go to the Air Force." You know how the kids do. And I said, "Yeah, let's go to the Air Force and join."
So at that point, you hadn't developed your leadership skills. You were a follower.
Of course. That's what to become a good leader, you have to become a good follower.
Hey.
I think Jesus Christ said something like that.
So this has been spiritual for you also.
Oh, absolutely.
I get it now.
Yeah, I used to preach too.
I get it. Huh?
I said I used to preach.
What does that mean?
I was a pastor at the St. John's AME Church in Baltimore for 2.5 years as an assistant pastor.
I think there's more information that we haven't uncovered, and like I said, it's starting to be a covert operation. So you were a pastor once upon a time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Really?
2.5 years with the African Methodist Episcopal Church, sorry. And then 2.5 years with the First Baptist Church of Columbia, Maryland. I was assistant pastor.
Okay.
So give the sermon every 5th week or something like that. Yeah. That's it.
All right.
My father was a pastor, by the way.
Your father was.
Yeah.
Okay. And where did you grow up again?
Well, Baltimore. I was born in Baltimore.
Okay.
My father,
Your father was what?
a pastor in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So we lived in Philly for about 10 years. Then they split up, my mother and father. Then we came back to Baltimore for a minute or two. And since she couldn't handle the 2 boys, then she put me with an aunt, put me with a cousin, put me with this person, put me in a school for 2 years, a boarding school for 2 years for boys. And then put me on a farm with this minister and his wife by the time from 12 to 16 for 4 years on the farm. So
Right.
in Virginia.
So you're well-rounded, huh?
Well-rounded.
Okay.
Well-rounded.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I would like to thank you for your service. Is there anything else that
No. That's
you'd
enough
like
of
to
that.
talk about?
No.
I know there's a plethora more.
We won't go there.
I know there's volumes. I can see this now. But I would.
But I appreciate the opportunity to share whatever little bit I can share.
Okay, well, I'd just like to thank you very much for a great interview. A very interesting interview. Oh, and by the way, you need to know, you'll get a copy.
Okay.
Of course.
Right.
We ship a copy to archive. We keep a copy.
Okay.
In DC, we ship a copy. And your grandkids, great-grandkids,
Okay.
and this other following that you have that we haven't
Talked
discussed.
about. Yeah, right.
Yeah, they'll be able to go to Washington, ask for your name, and sit there and
Wow.
actually watch it. Watch this interview.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.